Let's get it. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork you will not get anywhere else. Let's talk about this quote, controversial quote, end quote, hit on Trevor Lawrence. Again, Trevor Lawrence, someone I'm actually a huge fan of. I loved watching him play at Clemson. I do think he has, compared to what was expected of him, he would do for the Jacksonville Jaguars, considering what he was at Clemson, considering all the hype that he had coming out of Clemson. I think it's fair to say that he has definitely under-delivered. He has definitely not lived up to what was expected of him, at least of the day of me recording this. Recording this, by the way, December 4th, 2024. I believe it's a Wednesday. And he's been in the news throughout this entire week because of a hit that he took by Houston Texans. I believe he's either a strong safety or linebacker, Al-Shaair. This past Sunday, Trevor Lawrence breaks out of the pocket. He's sprinting towards the first down marker, and he slides. Al-Shaair comes at him elbow first, knocks him down, and as he hits the turf, his head knocks back, and that's what gives him the concussion. All right, so let me give you my take on this, because as usual, the mainstream media has completely taken the side of the quarterback, and there's such a conspiracy, and national media is going crazy, the internet is going crazy, and everybody, they suspended the guy for 3 games. They suspended him for 3 games. 3 games, taking food out of his family's mouths. That's a hefty suspension for someone who's just playing football. All right, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a defensive guy. I would encourage anyone listening to me to go listen to Coach JB, former coach from Last Chance U. Go listen to his take on this, and he absolutely nailed it. He nailed it, and this is a quarterback. This is a guy that played quarterback that absolutely nailed it when he said, you simply just got to take sliding out of football. It is no longer, and the thing is, what's crazy about it is I never even thought, I'm a defensive guy, and I never even thought of how many solutions and how much the problem would be avoided if they would simply just take sliding out of the game. Because when you consider this particular play, it's a bang play. Al-Shaair, he's out there playing football, and he wants to stop the guy from getting the first down. He wants to stop the player from getting the first down. And Trevor Lawrence is coming to a point now where he's about to get the first down. It is not fair that you get a player who's being paid to stop him from getting that first down, and then you get a player who can just simply use a slide and then get the first down. That is ridiculous. That should not be allowed, all right? And then when you actually consider it, because if you really want to keep the game safe, and again, I would encourage you guys to go out and listen to his explanation of it himself. He covers it. He absolutely nailed it when he said, when you think about what it takes to actually slide, for a quarterback to slide, he's opening himself up. He's kicking his feet out, and it's not actually a safe position because all of this is exposed. If you make it so he has to dive, like he's going and diving for that first down, he's protected. His head isn't, his body isn't exposed. He's not in a position now where he could even be, if he gets hit, his head isn't going to snap back the way it actually snapped back. And that is the issue. We, as the typical fan, the typical mainstream media folks out there, typical people who don't know shit about football, have gone on and celebrated defensive players for making major hits, and we are not celebrating defensive players for making the proper form tackle. So when it comes to this particular play, and there's a lot of plays like this, you see Al-Shaair, he's not in a position to make a solid tackle. You see he's kind of sideways. He's trying to put his shoulder into him. He's not properly breaking down, wrapping him up, and driving through him. His feet are in no position to actually drive through and make a tackle. All right, and that is the issue. The issue is when you get defensive players who are more so trying to make a big hit, and then you get a quarterback who basically isn't allowed to get hit. He could use some move that'll keep him from being allowed to get hit. Then obviously the game becomes more of an unsafe place, because you're not understanding the way of the body, and the way you open yourself up to a potential injury. That is the issue. It's too much politics, too much politics, too much lobbying, and too much of the typical fantasy football player who thinks they know anything about football. Everything is about just keeping the quarterback safe because they're the ones that make the most money, which you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be in a situation where the quarterback is making the most money, yet they are the most protected player on the field. Understand this. Take sliding out of football. The minute a quarterback breaks the pocket, it's fair game now. It's fair game. You got to be able to lay into him like you would any player. So now the quarterback learns how to protect themselves and how to properly take hits in that situation. So if you're Trevor Lawrence, basically the way the situation should have been, if you're Trevor Lawrence and you're driving to get the first down or you're about to get a first down the way the play went, it should be Trevor Lawrence diving forward to get that first down. It should not be Trevor Lawrence coming in and sliding trying to get the first down. He should be diving head first, right? Head first, get down, get yourself protected the same way a receiver would go for a pass and then they get themselves protected. Trevor Lawrence needs to be going down to the first down, knowing where the yard is and diving for it and not sliding for it. That should be the conversation, and I do not think it was necessary. I think it was unnecessary. Now, again, there were some other plays in there that, excuse me, led to his 3-game suspension and all that kind of stuff. So that probably played a role. But in terms of that particular hit, when it comes to Trevor Lawrence this past weekend, a 3-game suspension was incredibly severe if they just took into account that particular hit. But like I said, there was other transactions, other things, and apparently he was a repeat offender and they pulled up some other plays and all that kind of stuff. But talking about that hit specifically, my take on it, the 3-game suspension was incredibly severe and unnecessary for a bang play where, again, we as defenders, we're taught to stop the guy from getting the first down, and a quarterback should not be able to use a slide to get a first down. It should be a situation where the slide is not allowed in the game, and if you're going to be out of the pocket, you're fair game and you can get hit, all right? All that being said, I'll dive into a lot of this in a little bit. I got my tackling turnover every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday tackling turnover with teamwork. Be debuting in an hour or so here this morning. Main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work. It's makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.